Hey guys, welcome to the latest Prem Sports Rants with yours truly. I haven't done a rant for a while, sorry. Early morning, got a free train ride, so I thought I'd just talk about it. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about. So for instance, I'm going to go a bit off topic. One of the best things we like to watch on a Saturday is Gillette Soccer Saturday. However, a lot of the primary cast members have been shot away, fired, discarded, thought that's a travesty. But on the other side, the good thing is you're having a lot of players playing, you've got a lot of games happening, so the three top games is on BT Sports anyway, so it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's the economy. Oh, I know, look at this, empty train, mask, early morning, that's how it goes. I'm liking how the Premiership season is starting a lot. So today is the 30th of September. On the weekend we saw a lot of surprises, like a lot of so-called strong sides were quite poor defensively. Man United, Chelsea and Man City. Well, you know Man United, I always say Harry Maguire is overrated. My ex-colleague Taz in the Daily Sports and Taz, they said like he wasn't that bad, but I disagree. He's really slow. He actually calls me snail. We do speak, don't worry, we're not that angry, we're not angry at each other. And it just shows how bad Man United, it just shows how the Premiership season is unpredictable. On the flip side, you can even argue that the reason why that these sides are doing badly, like Man United, Chelsea and Man City,
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Empty train.
Here for National Rail Services.
So I can also argue it's because they're so far behind in their schedules because there's no pre-season. It certainly is. Let's go all the way to clinics. Okay, so the other reason is because Man City were in the Champions League. Man United were into the semi-finals, and Chelsea were knocked out easily by Bayern Munich, by the eventual champions. But it means that they lost precious time of rest and the pre-season development. So there's an argument during this hectic schedule: do you continuously play your players over and over? I've been debating this with several football fans in regards to Harry Maguire. Because he played more minutes than any other player worldwide last season, and he's slow, he's looking more and more vulnerable, like against Man United and Leicester. Having commentated about that situation, so I can talk about it now. Man United versus Leicester, he did a few mistakes, but because Leicester were in such a downward trajectory, even Lingard scored against them. That says it all. So I do think Man United need to rotate. And interestingly, in their game against Brighton, they actually used a three-man defence near the end by bringing on Bailey. People do not like Bailey. I think he's important, and I think they may have to explore the possibility of three centre-backs, because using three centre-backs gives them stability, and it would really help. I'm talking as long as I can while I've got an empty train, so it may not be empty anymore. I was going to even talk about Roman Reigns, probably one of the best heroes I've seen for a very long time, since CM Punk. I was going to say decades, because he's the closest thing to the corporate champion. Fantastic. The aura, the energy, it's like, whoa. You've got the corporate champion there. He's got the corporate champion. He's got like the... Indeed it is. So he's got like the Brock Lesnar's aura.
Central Line train to Latin.
He's got the Brock Lesnar aura, and that's really good to see, because his Brock Lesnar aura is like he's like the dominant beast, and he's accompanied by the person. Well, basically, wrestling was defined. This generation is defined by Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. The dominant wrestler that shouldn't have ever left WWE in the first place was fighting the new chosen hero. And there was like a clash of generations, but it defined this generation to make Roman Reigns a super global star that he is now. So Paul Heyman joining him is fantastic, and the way his composure, his action, his speaking is great. His mic skills is phenomenal right now, because he employs that aggressive big guy persona really well. That was his best part when he was with Shield. and nobody can disagree with his persona, his character when he was a heel, or even as a good guy for sure, because he was that dominant, angry, quiet guy but that could speak, which is what he's doing with Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman can fill the gaps. And a good match against Jey Uso, unlucky Jey Uso, just wasn't your day. Let me go back into the football. Middlesbrough, thank goodness you survived. Oh my goodness, I spoke about it on my niece's account, Millie Billy Makeup, thank you. She gave me a shout out. We just made it, and it's been a bit rough for Middlesbrough because we played two of the sides that got relegated, Watford and Bournemouth. Sides, they were meant to lose a lot more players, but Watford have only lost the core, and they haven't even lost this half up. And he was playing, I'm not sure he was playing against us, but Watford have got a really strong side still, so we're lucky to survive that game, and thank goodness. Yes. I've got to talk about Man City versus Leon quickly before someone comes and cut this podcast. Man City defeated themselves against Leon. It wasn't Leon beating them. Man City's poor defensive highlight went against them. Even the poor decision for Dembele's goal to be not to be disallowed, because Dembele fouled Laporte. I think it was Laporte. Yeah. So I'm gonna get going, guys. Take care, and I'll continue this in part 2 shortly. Whew. Hopefully, I have fun with this patience today. Told me too early. Whew. Might as well talk a bit more. So, what I'll say is that Man City defeated themselves against Leon. That was the situation, because Leon, with all due respect, aren't as good as Man City. They did have a good game plan, and I'd say that Leon were probably the best side against Bayern Munich throughout the latter stage of Champions League. And I would even argue that the reason why there was 2 German sides and 2 French sides at the last 4 of the Champions League is because those sides had the best recovery periods in order to compete better, and plus PSG had the most favourable draws. And I think I mentioned it in the previous podcast, be so long, that PSG had the advantage simply because their draw was favourable compared to the other sides. Once PSG faced a top side, they can do anything. Indeed it is. And then therefore, we saw PSG fail. Neymar, everyone said he was so good, but he couldn't even score. He couldn't score. He's £198 million worth of talent, and he was bought for that much, and he couldn't even deliver. That saves everything. Mbappe had a great chance in injury time in the first half, didn't deliver. That saves everything again, and it just shows that maybe this is going to be controversial. I think Martial is like Mbappe, close to him. Indeed, he is. Yeah, so Martial is close to him. It is. So Martial is a player that was in a defensive side under Mourinho and Louis van Gaal, and he wasn't given the right motivation. And if Mbappe was in the same situation, he may not deliver as much. So that was my take towards that as well. What else? I've missed so much, and I'm sure I'm going to miss Tottenham, Bale and Reguilon, fantastic signings. I'm a massive fan of Gareth Bale. I think he's the 3rd best player in the world if he can sustain his fitness. That's a big if. Liverpool as well. Okay, because I want to speed up. I can't be on it too long. I needed some notes of stuff. So Liverpool, they were defensively poor against Leeds, defensively poor against Arsenal in the Charity Shield. But then something flipped against Chelsea, and then against Arsenal in the Premier League on Monday Night Football. Fantastic, dominant, and it was like all the hopes that Man City may challenge them faded away. Although Man City had then acquired a defender, a very young defender from Benfica, Ruben Diaz. Is he going to be the question? Is he the answer? We do not know. Ruben Diaz, like other players from the Portuguese league, haven't always fared well in terms of defensive recruits. They haven't always done well. We've seen Otamendi, we've seen Mangala, David Luiz. He's always been questionable himself. So it's going to be interesting. Man City may benefit because he's an authoritative figure, and you got to credit the Portuguese sides because they always manage to get a good deal and exchanging players. Man United had to pay 60 million for Rojo and plus Vignani for free. Ruben Diaz for 65 million plus Otamendi going the opposite way for 30 million. Great business. I have to quickly talk about wrestling. AEW, you're a disgrace for inviting fans this early because even if you're in an open arena, it's too early. Europe is possibly experiencing a second wave shortly. Florida is not at a great state, so terrible by AEW to do that. WWE, keep doing the Thunder Arena. I've got to get going. Take care. I'll do more soon.